So, watching Miss International 2019 just made me wish, hope, and pray for Miss Universe and pray that Miss Universe 2019 is as spectacular or even more spectacular than it was last year. I mean, first of all, the pageant is so long. It's over 3 hours long. It's almost 4 hours. Why is any pageant in the world 4 hours long? There is no need. There's no need for a pageant to be 3 hours. I really think a good time would be like 2 hours, if not maybe 2.5 hours, and make it exciting and make it interesting. And I really don't even have that much to say about this review because it was so first of all, the introduction of the different nations, of the countries, they don't make it interesting. So I love the fact that when they introduce them, they're in the national costumes. I love that. I think that's fantastic. But there's the song that was playing in the background, and I would love to hear the girls say their names. And I know it's not Miss Universe, I know they have a different way, but number one, they were not saying their names, or they weren't saying the name of their country, so they weren't introducing themselves, nor were they being introduced by a narrator or somebody, you know what I'm saying? There was nobody to introduce them. They just had their name and their age and country at the side of the screen in English and in Japanese. So that was a bit lackluster. I think it needed something. It needed either them being introduced by a narrator or a speaker or themselves or something. They could have pre-recorded the girls introducing themselves and then played it as they came on stage or something. It was just so boring. Like, why are they just randomly on stage, and the music was so random? And I know it was in Japan, I know it's a Japanese pageant, but the constant translation between Japanese and English was tiring. It made everything so long and boring, and it just didn't have flow. I think this pageant really needs a revamp. It seems, like we've taken a step back, way back into time. We're in the 1950s or something. This is how a pageant probably happened in the 1950s and the 40s and the 60s. So dreary, so long, so formal and so serious. I mean, from the crown itself to everything about that pageant, it's way too serious. And I just think it needs a little bit more of youth and exuberance and modernity. And then when they eventually announced the top 15, because I'm not even going to talk about the swimsuit round and the evening gown. I mean, it was just too much. Why is everyone walking the runway? Why is everyone being presented? If they wanted to give more people a chance, like, this is how I would have done it. You have 90 or so countries, maybe whittle it down to a top 30. Even a top 40, but maybe that would have been too much. I think a top 35 would have been the maximum, and then have an evening gown or the swimwear round, and then whittle it down to top 20 or top 18 or 16 or something like that, and then have evening gown. But to have everybody present is not right, because it just makes the show last so long, and it's unnecessary. That's why they are preliminary competitions. It's not the first time that the judges are seeing these contestants. So they got the top 15, and what annoyed me about the way that the top 15 were announced was the name of the country would be announced, and then there'd be someone in English saying, congratulations, please go to center stage, or something like that. He said it in like a weird, robotic, computerized voice. It was like, congratulations, please go to center stage. It was like, after every single contestant. I mean, these are pageant girls. They rehearse, right? There are rehearsals for these pageants. There's choreography. They know that when top 15 are announced, this is where you stand, this is where you pose, and this is where you go and stand in line, or whatever it may be. They don't have to be told by a robotic voice in the background saying, congratulations, please go to center stage, whatever that guy was saying, something along those lines. And it was so repetitive, and it became so annoying after a while. Oh my gosh, it keeps falling off. Everything is a mess. Like, this international is a mess, everything. Okay, whatever. And then the top 8, okay, this is an observation. As soon as Miss Uganda, who is beyond gorgeous in terms of her face and her height, I didn't get much of a personality, but as soon as she was mentioned in the top 15, and then she was the only black person in the top 15, I knew she would place. Like, I think they have a token black every year or every other year or something, and she must be from Africa. And I mean, as well, you know, she's beautiful and everything, but it's like, are they gonna crown a black winner, or they're just gonna have a token black there somewhere so that, you know, she's just there, and then like 75 Asians in the top 8 or whatever. I don't know. I knew she was gonna place. You know what I'm saying? So that was just like, okay, she's the token one, and no other black girl made it. Really. And then top 8, my girl was there, Philippines, Patch Maxinong. And I think I had a connection with her because out of all the contestants, she's the one that I've known for the longest, because I was following her journey in Binibining, Pilipinas. And I was rooting for her. Like, it would have been such an amazing thing if she won. Like, this person that I've been following for so long, and then she wins an international title because she's good enough for Miss Universe. So I thought, okay, you know, she's a shoo-in for Miss International. So I was so excited. I loved her speech. I don't understand Japanese, so I don't know how it was translated, but I hope that it was translated well. But I'm hearing from people that it wasn't actually translated well. She looked heavenly, better than I've ever seen her look, better than she looked at Binibining. She looked spectacular. I loved her hair and makeup. Her final dress was okay. I think it could have been better. It looked a little bit ill-fitting. It looked a bit big for her, but you know, maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I loved her speech. I loved her confidence, and I was sure that she was going to place and hopefully win. I was also happy, obviously, to see Andrea, who was Miss Mexico, who was at Miss Universe last year, and she didn't place, and that was unfortunate because she killed it on the runway, and we don't know what she did in her interview, but on the runway she was spectacular, and a lot of people were rooting for her and were disappointed that she didn't place. So I'm happy that she did well. So I was hoping that if Philippines doesn't win, that it would be Mexico. And if it's not Mexico, then maybe Uganda. South Africa didn't make it to the top 15. Wasn't surprised. There was nothing outstanding about the South African delegate in my eyes. So yeah, when Thailand was eventually announced as the winner, I was very disappointed. I was also disappointed by the United Kingdom. For me, there was nothing outstanding about her. So I was very surprised by that placement. I don't understand what the judges saw, but the rest of the top 8 were really good. But yeah, I was very disappointed by Philippines not winning. Oh yeah, and before that, so they announced like the runners up. I think there's a third runner up, second runner up, first runner up, something like that, and then they crowned them. So they announced them very slowly. Of course, everything is slow at Miss International, and then it's done, and then the last person to be named obviously is the queen. But before they get there, they come out and they do the crowning of the runners up, or the runners up. Why do they do it like that? Why can't they just give them their crown or their tiara and then make it, like, speed it up, make it a bit more exciting? It takes so long. It is like torture. I would never go watch Miss International live because I feel like I'm being held hostage or something, because I love pageants and I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see till the end, till the crowning moment, which is such an exciting moment, but it's dragged out and it's for no discernible reason. Like, why is this being dragged out? Why is this taking 4 hours? Why? And then for it to be dragged out and then be disappointed by who wins is just beyond me. But I don't know why I had such high hopes. I didn't like last year's winner, Venezuela. It's such a dreary pageant, and it's so unfortunate because it has such a long history that it could be competing with Miss Universe and Miss World. But what this means is that Miss Universe is just flying out into the stratosphere and leaving behind Miss International, way behind, leaving behind Miss World, because Miss World is not that modern, as modern as it should be. It's also in the same WhatsApp group as Miss Universe. I mean, as Miss International, sorry. I think Supranational is more exciting. I think even Grand International more exciting because they're a bit more modern, a bit quicker, you know, fast paced. Yeah, so I was not very happy about Miss International at all. The winner, the way that it went down, and the fact that it was so long and repetitive, and the translations. If you want to do translations, why not make it quick? Why not make it fun? Why not get fun hosts? One in English, one in Japanese, and they're playing off of each other, they're joking, they're having good banter, and it's really fun. Why not? If you want to incorporate that, why not incorporate more of Japanese culture into the ceremony itself and make it really vibrant? These questions will never be answered, but you know, I don't know. Okay, please tell me what you think, and let me know if I should do more reviews of other pageants as well, other than Miss Universe. And please subscribe, because I'll be putting out more and more content leading up to Miss Universe, the world's best pageant by far.